welcome back to Cross Stitch the Globe. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
And this is a channel about cross stitch. We have had a few new subscribers in the last 2 weeks, so I thought we would reintroduce ourselves really quickly. We're two sisters who both cross stitch. Do you want to talk about your cross stitch journey, Allison?
I've been doing it for about 6 years. I was crafty as a kid and then decided to do cross stitch after trying knitting and needlepoint and things like that. I went to Counted. Cross stitch was the hardest of my crafts, and it's been really fun. It's been about 6 years now, and I've gotten to stitch a lot of different types of things, and I love it. What about you?
So growing up, we had a grandmother who taught us how to sew, and so we grew up like sewing. And another one of our grandmothers taught us, taught me, a different grandmother taught you because she passed away, how to needlepoint. But it really was just tench stitch, so cross stitch kind of felt very natural. But then I kind of gave all those things up when I found out about boys and school got hard, and so I probably sewed all the time from when I was like 6 or 7 to 12 or 13, and then not again for a long time. I did some like home ec sewing and like a couple projects in high school. And then Allison took one of my, I'm a professional travel writer, is my like day job. Like I write for myself, but that is what I do for a living. And Allison took one of my travel photos and she converted it into a pattern and stitched it for our parents. And that made me think, oh, I have like a terabyte of like beautiful travel photos that would be really fun to make into patterns. And so I started researching cross stitch mostly to do that, because I was going to do it for myself, and then I want eventually, and I will be doing it soon, selling the patterns based on my photos. But Allison was like, well, why don't you watch some YouTube videos on like how to cross stitch, so like while you're like doing this. And I was like, okay. And then I discovered Flosstube, and then I discovered like all the other things that you can stitch to, and got like sucked in, and so now here we are.
And I didn't know about Flosstube until she discovered the world of the Flosstube videos, and it opened up a world for me, because when I was learning cross stitch, it was from needlepoint to cross stitch. It was pretty easy, but there's still, you know, tricky stuff. So I was Googling tutorials, and that's all they had 6 years ago when I was learning Counted cross stitch. I didn't find all these cool Flosstube things, so this has just been really exciting.
So we're having so much fun, and we're so excited that we've been able to meet so many cool people, and that some of our videos have like been fun for you guys. So to anyone who subscribed recently, thank you. If you've been subscribed since the beginning, thank you. We're so excited.
All 4 months or something.
Yeah. And if you're not subscribed but you like watching our videos, go ahead and subscribe. It like really does brighten our day, but it also tells YouTube what kind of stitchers like our videos, to then show other stitchers like you, oh, this is something you might like. So all right, well, let's dive in. So today is a traditional floss tube. The way we normally do it is 1 week we'll put out a traditional floss tube. We try to do it on Mondays, and then the next week we'll put out an extra, like our last video was the most expensive patterns. We put out like extras about
how to stitch on canvas,
Thomas Kincaid's like Disney kits, just any topic we think is like super fun but would make these videos 25 hours long. We just do it as a separate video. So
it's like a deep dive
into a topic.
One topic.
So next week there'll be another extra out, and then the next week after that there'll be a floss tube.
Yeah.
So the way that we normally do our floss tubes is we start out by thanking people who mentioned us in their floss tubes, and then anybody who we had mentioned previously who like took the time to like watch our floss tubes and like comment on their videos about us. We also want to thank them. So we had some fun mentions this week from people we really love. So the runner stitcher, Andrew, said like the nicest things. It was so nice. Sweet. And if you haven't checked out his floss tube, it's really fun. And our floss tubes are kind of famously long.
Real long.
His floss tubes are like a nice, like you can watch it while you're getting ready for work or something, because it's like they're usually like 30 to 40 minutes, and so very efficient. But also like really good, and he stitches really fun things. And he's hosting the first Mira Sal for people who want to jump in on their first Mirabilia.
You're on a second Mira already, so that first one went really well for you, because I saw the second start, and that's amazing. So congratulations, that's wonderful.
And then Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot, who I feel like we talk about all the times, but she was inspired by your canvas bags, and so she was talking about that again because she actually did a napkin.
Yeah, I know, the red bird. It was so beautiful.
And she used the water-soluble canvas, which we're going to do an extra at some point in the next few months on like the difference between waste canvas and water-soluble canvas because we haven't used the water-soluble. So we're going to try that out and see. But everyone watches Sarah, but if you don't, like, go watch Sarah. She's amazing. Marissa from Mkissa Creations, we talked about her a lot, but she said some really nice things about our channel, and she's like a really good designer, and her floss tubes are really interesting and fun, and she's from Maine, so she like is one of the Maine girls, and they all like, wouldn't it be so fun to just be up in Maine with them and like go to like a day? Yeah,
all the fun stuff. Yeah.
So thank you, Marissa, and she's joining the Beetle Sal, which we're super excited about. And then Catherine, the Needleberry Stitcher, she joined your birthday Sal, but then she said some really nice things about our channel, and I know some of you guys came over because she recommended you, and we love her. We love everything she stitches. Like, if you're not watching Catherine, go check her out. And everybody we're mentioning is going to be in the description. And then some new to me, Emma Bobbins. She's only on like Flosstube 2 or 3. I don't even know if I told you that she mentioned us because I get the notifications. So I was watching her last night, and she lives in the UK, which we love. We love a UK floss tube. We really do. But I
love the cultures differences. I love the accents. I love all of it.
I love it. Like, it's so interesting to see the different shopping and what's available and how what's available changes what you end up stitching. She's working on this super cool modern basketball for her boyfriend or fiance or husband. I think that's amazing. I'm not sure, but her partner.
Football later, we'll talk.
Okay. But she's new, and it was really interesting and good, and she's also working on like innovating some products. Like she's been sewing some things for her Q snaps. Like she's just very cool and fun. So go check her out. And then an Oklahoma gal, Queen of Skeins.
Oh, okay.
So she had talked about us on her channel in regards to the sale that we're going to talk about later at the Silver Needle. That we went to.
And I hope you went because it was amazing.
And she said she didn't get to go. She had to work. But her channel is really fun. And we definitely love supporting an Oklahoma stitcher. She's really nice. And she stitches a wide variety of things, but she's about to do some Hawker and Hollow, so that'll be fun to follow along with. And during her video, the 12 o'clock noon tornado siren went off.
Yes, I did hear that part.
So, so in Oklahoma, and I lived in Kansas for a while.
This was nationwide though, so
it's not. It's Tornado Alley. But even in Kansas, I don't think we had this. In here at noon, there's tornado sirens go off, and that helps you kind of like make sure that their tornado sirens are working. And so it's just kind of like you just hear it, and you're like, oh, it's noon on Saturday, and it's just like a totally normal part of life. And so it was so fun to watch it in her video.
And she didn't even look at her watch, and she said it's noon because we know.
And we
can set our clock to it too.
We film on Sundays, but I didn't ever think about like, if we were filming on a Saturday, it's totally possible.
It would go off,
and then the 502 Stitcher, this one came out really late last night, so I didn't, or within the last 24 hours, I didn't tell you about this one yet. So she, she was talking about the most expensive patterns video, and so that's what she was talking about, like in reference to recommending our channel. But her channel is very fun. She stitches a lot of like Lori Holt, stitching with the Housewife style. I don't know if they're specific, that's a specific designer, but the style. She's stitching a Lori Holt that I'm going to be stitching soon, so it was really exciting to see that, and I'll definitely be checking her out again. And then One Stitch at a Time, she stitched 36,000 stitches in January. So if you want to go find a channel where someone is stitching a lot. Now I didn't clock how many if any of them were 10 stitches.
Yeah.
But still,
even if it's 10 stitches,
still,
good job. Good for you. Good job.
Thank you so much to everyone that mentioned us. It's a little overwhelming and very like sweet, and
so nice.
A fun mix of people that were like new to me to check out, and people that we've been like talking to for a long time. So, and then the people we had mentioned before who mentioned us in their videos, and I just want to thank KBH Stitches. Love her channel. If you haven't seen her like 25-part whip parade. Go watch it. And then write down every bag maker. And then you'll end up like me where you have all the bags. Cross Stitch Kate, who we love.
Love Cross Stitch Kate.
Caroline's Stitching Corner, who I was catching up with her last night. She also did like 20,000 stitches in January.
Oh my God. Y'all, I need to catch up. How do you do this?
Mod Cross, who
Yes.
she has a cool, so her channel is cool because she lives on a working farm and she's a designer. But she was, her last one, she was going on, she was explaining all the things they had to do for her daughter's new gecko, which was really cool. And then Sarah, the redneck bifocal stitcher, who I just like love, and I have a project that's like very much like wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for her. So thank you guys so much. Like it means a lot. And that was, I know that was a lot to sit through. So we'll dive. Oh, actually we have one more section and then we'll dive into stitching. So we also like to congratulate people in the community who have like personal or professional things to celebrate that they're shouting out. And so if you have anybody you want to congratulate, you can consider us like a public billboard. Just DM us on Instagram. I'm Cross Stitch the Globe because I had the Instagram before the channel, and then Allison is Allison at the moment. DM us and we will gladly put whoever you want to congratulate on the next Flosstube.
Yeah.
But Alara hit 3,000 subscribers.
Go, Laura.
I know,
That's
it's
awesome.
very cool.
Yeah.
Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph hit 18,000 subscribers, and they're coming up on 7 years, which is very
That's quite
cool.
a feat. That's amazing.
Owl and Gator had hit 3 years on 1,000 subscribers, so congratulations. And I checked her channel out. I think it was the second video I'd seen of hers. She stitches like a nice fun variety of things, but she has this cool Turkish inspired pattern that was really interesting. The New Hampshire Stitcher hit 1 year, and Stem X Stitch hit 1 year. And then
I like Stem X.
I like her too.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
And then Stitch and Mommy hit 7 years.
I love Stitch and Mommy.
So, congratulations. It seems like everyone in the winter is like, let me start a floss tube.
I didn't tell you, Two Tall Stitchers got to 50 episodes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
congratulations.
really good. Yeah.
And then we had some birthdays. So, Joy from the Carolina Stitchers, Missy from Two Needles Plain Thread. And then the second wind stitcher, I think her birthday is coming up, but before we film again. Carrie from Tiger Lily, which I think everyone saw her beautiful birthday Sal piece. And then Christy from Floss Boss and Cousins, I think her birthday is gonna be,
I think it's in March, isn't it?
I thought it was before we filmed again, but it might not be.
So
So
she's doing a birthday sale. I will check it out. I will inform you when I find out.
I saw the announcement for it, but I was watching
Yeah.
them and I was like, I think her birthday's before we film again, but I wasn't 100%.
I might be mixing her up with someone else. Somebody else's birthday is in March if it's not hers.
Well, anyway,
We'll
Christy,
check it
happy
out.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
And if it's in a little bit longer than that, that's fine. Everyone go check out the Floss Boston Cousins and her birthday sale.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's do stitching.
Actual
Get to stitching. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any finishes?
I do not have any finishes.
Do you have any FFOs?
I do not have any FFOs. I have a story about an FFO.
Tell us the story about your FFO.
Okay,
And
so
an FFO is a fully finished object. This is where someone takes a finished piece of cross stitch and turns it into something like a
Useful.
pillow or a picture frame or something.
a friend. So my story begins last floss tube. I had a finish, and it was not here to show you, but you saw a picture of it. It's
And I'll show
Holiday
you guys the
Glow.
picture again by Satsuma Street.
Holiday Glow by Satsuma Street. I didn't have it because I had taken it to the framers already. Well, it was done yesterday, so I went to the framers. I was so excited. It was pretty off center, and I just paid for it and went home. And I showed Stephanie, and she's like, "That is really off center."
It was
like,
so
I
off
know,
center
I
that
know it's off center.
It was making me car sick, like seasick to like look at it because
It was very off.
your brain wants it to be in the middle and then it's not, and so I felt like I was sitting like this.
And it was not. It was very obvious. It was not something I could have fudged.
And you couldn't have fixed it.
I could not have fixed it on my own. It was, a custom cut
Frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she convinced me, like, go ahead, just see if they'll fix it for you. And so I had to take it back. But
So
they're gonna fix it, and I'm just gonna pick it up tomorrow. So
And
then next time I will have an FFO.
and the next time I will have a bunch of FFOs because I will be picking up all the stuff. I dropped off a bunch of stuff to get framed. I dropped off my models to get framed because I forgot that when I started making models, like when I started designing, I was designing for a frame size that I thought was a normal frame size, but apparently doesn't really exist in nature. And so those need custom frames.
In nature.
And so my new like designs going forward are different dimensions so that doesn't happen. Because I know when people buy patterns that it's not required, but it is nice to buy a pattern that you can frame yourself easily.
Yeah, it does take down the cost.
Yeah, and with full coverage, I don't want extra Ada showing. So with full coverage, I personally prefer it to bump up right to the edge.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to frame it myself and have Ada showing.
That's a lie. I have one piece where I have the Ada showing, and it does not look bad at all.
I think the red Ada, the blue
white.
Ada will look good. I personally would hate seeing white Ada. I'm having them do a matte around it because yeah. So you guys will see those next on our next regular Flosstube episode in 2 weeks.
Next time we're gonna have like all the finishes.
It'll be like an FFO parade. All right. Do you have any? Oh, you don't have any finishes.
I don't have any finishes. Okay. Do you have any finishes?
I do. So I finished the Pumpkin Carriage by OwlForest Embroidery. I love it.
It looks so good.
I put the last stitches in this little green pumpkin last night and then took it. Well, it was very early this morning, and I was like, oh, it's done. But if you guys, some of you guys will have seen
it looks so
when
good.
I bought a bunch of thread packs and a kit from OwlForest Embroidery, I think like last September. It was one of the first extras we did. I did like an unboxing. And so like it's fun to finish one of the pieces that I unbox that day, but also to know eventually most of them will be finished.
Do you know the official start date?
No, I don't. Well, actually I might because I actually have my project card for this one.
Looks real good.
September 29th.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this chart is free on the OwlForest website, but I did buy the OwlForest thread pack. And actually, like people talk about like, you know, you don't know if like packs and stuff are going to be generous. Look how much floss I have left over.
Mm-hmm.
I bought I bought the pack for the 28 count. So I didn't use less, and I stitched on 28 count. So I didn't use less or more for the fabric. I didn't have any big frogging incidents. But like I have
even if you had,
I have so much left. I don't know if you could stitch it again because I think you'd run out of the green, but you could almost stitch it again. So I love it. Cool. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna drop it off to get framed when I pick up the other ones, just so while I'm like on a roll, not like get yeah. Because also like I just think it's funny that you can see right through it. So first of all, part of why I'm so happy that this one's done is because I'm never stitching on Witchell 28 count again. I really hate it, and I need the framers to do it because I don't know how.
So when it is see-through like that, I'm curious to know.
I need a professional to tell me what you do behind it.
What do you do?
So I'm assuming they're going to put some kind of backing behind it and stuff, but then that also will show through it, so it needs to be the right color and everything. So I'm going to go in with some time to make sure that I can really talk to them about what to do. But I'm very excited that it's done. Yay. It's not my first OwlForest finish because I finished a bunch of the little ornaments, but of all the OwlForest projects I have, this was the first one I started. So it's fun to be that it's done. And like I said, this chart is free. You can pick up the chart, and it has a DMC conversion. However, if you do the DMC conversion, it converts this color that is, so this pumpkin is one color of thread. That is one color of thread. It goes orange to scarlet, and it converts it into just like an orange. So you might want to pick up 2 colors instead. Like really look at the pattern and look at the thread conversion and see what you're missing color-wise and kind of add it in yourself.
Because you really would miss.
Because you would miss.
Pops.
You would. Okay, so I think you'd be fine with whatever they pick for this because it's a nice variegated grade of like black, but it's not like clutch. But this one is like green to brown, and this one is orange to scarlet, and those are converted as one color. Now this like light orange to dark orange, I think one color you'll be okay. But I'm excited, and then I'll see in the future what I can put these extra threads on.
Yeah. And
I stitched that with this vintage Duchess oval. All right.
Yay, congratulations.
Yay. And I love this bag, so you guys will definitely see it again in the future, but it's from Kathy's Posies, and you guys have seen it so much, it'll be nice to put it away for a little while. See what gets put in there down the road. All right, so that was my finish. Yay! All right, did you have any new starts?
I have one new start. Let me show you. You've probably seen this before.
I have seen it, but for some reason, when you were ironing it, I did not recognize it.
Oh, really? Okay, so show the pattern.
Oh, okay, so here's the original photo that this pattern is based on. And then this is based on one of my travel photos, so I charted my travel photo. So that was the original photo. Here's the mock-up. Now, mock-ups on some of these photo conversions aren't like great, which is why I really am working on making sure I have model stitches in the beginning. So Allison is doing a model stitch for me. It looks so good.
Really good?
Yeah. Oh my God, the sky looks amazing.
I'm like 30% done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I'm doing it per page. It's 2 and a bit pages. So really, it's going to get twice as big.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to be 4x6. So instead of the 4x5s that I was doing, because I was taking photos that were 8x10s, like that were edited to be 4x5 for Instagram and 8x10, and I was turning them into patterns, but 4x5 is not a normal frame size. But 8x10 is.
Frame things on my own. So yeah, that's good to know.
It is. It's very annoying. So I'm having to like go back to the photo, re-edit the photo into a 4x6. Well, it's a 2x3 ratio, but so that it can be a 4x6. So it's very annoying. But
it's been very fun.
It looks very good.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I love that it's a full coverage, and yet I've gotten this much in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can really start to see.
You can see what's going on. Yeah. That's crazy. And so Bear Lake.
Yeah, so this is Bear Lake, which is in Rocky Mountain National Park, and I'm trying to go. I'm working right now on converting a few Rocky Mountain National Park pictures because I have somebody volunteered to do a model stitch for me, and that was a place that they love, and I don't want to like talk about who this person is because they're just like wonderful, but I don't want to like put them on blast. Awesome. So I'm finding another one, but this one I really want Allison to do because it's one where like I think it's going to look really great. But the mock-up is like not.
It already looks great.
The mock-up is not what I think it's going to look like when it's actually stitched, and so I didn't want to give to someone who would be like, "Is this good?" Like, you know, I want to give them something where the mock-up also looks good because sometimes the mock-ups can look really good.
Yeah.
And then, so I gotta. I'm working on it. I pulled all my photos from that trip, and I love Rocky Mountain National Park. I want to go back so bad.
I've never been.
It's only a 12-hour drive from here.
A long time.
Well, it's like, okay, so
we have a different point of view on that one.
I mean, like, if you had a 4-day weekend, you could go pretty easily
and spend 24 hours in the car.
That's only 2 more hours in the car each way than we do for Texas every year.
That I don't do every year.
Well, that our family traditionally does. To me, that's not a long road trip. We did.
Well, it looks like it'd be worth the trip because these are beautiful
it's really
photos.
Beautiful.
They're gorgeous, and so I'm going to try and finish that one by the end of the month. But it's full coverage, so it does get a little bit slower in the middle section.
The skies are usually easier. Like
the skies, and for some reason, the bottom of the mountains was really easy. Just back and forth, just like 2 or 3 different colors. But yeah.
Thank you. It's really pretty.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun to stitch and see it come to life. Like
and
really
it's small,
quickly.
So like you can do it in like 2-3 weeks, and still stitch other things. It's not quite like
I'm not only stitching.
It's not committing to.
Yeah, it's not a hate for sure. Okay, do you have any starts?
I do. I have 2 new starts.
Yay.
So yesterday was the day when the Flosstube community started the Year of the Dragon Sal that was hosted by Erica from Fibers and Floss Canada and Samantha the Hugo Stitcher. And I have a very small start. I just wanted to make sure I got it started on the official day. So that's 100 stitches, but half the stitches are white, so you can't see them. So this is City of Dragons. This is based on a picture that I took in the city of Ljubljana, Slovenia, which is a city that is nicknamed the City of Dragons, and this is a dragon statue that like is in front of their castle. So I'll show you the picture here, and then the mock-up, and you can see this mock-up like looks really good, I think, compared to that mock-up, but I think they're both going to be great once stitched. But
are they the same size?
No, this one's a lot bigger.
Okay,
that helps. That helps. This one is an 8x10. So I'm stitching this on just 14 count white Aida. But yesterday we were driving to Tulsa to go to the Silver Needle. I was working on organizing the floss for this, which, so I didn't even get to finish with organizing all the floss. My bag is still full of like a million green flosses because this dragon has like every shade of green in it. It has 67 colors and it's like all of the greens you could get. So I'm very excited about it. But it's definitely, I'm so loving doing the Palace of Sentra. I could see myself really trying to get this one done within a year or two, but we'll see. We'll see how like lost in the green I get. Thank you. It's from Stitchy Box. Unfortunately they're sold out of it, but it was like a vintage tile that they turned. I don't know if they did it or someone else did it because I saw it for sale somewhere else too. So I don't know if they bought a bunch from someone. Yeah. But
it's really cool.
It was yeah, I bought it from Stitchy Box.
Very cool.
And it lives in this Jasmine's Custom Bag, dragon bag, which used to hold something else, but you guys saw in the last Flosstube I decided to shuffle some things around so that the dragon can live.
Kicked out.
And in its dragon bag, because it's like, how could it not? But yeah, it's like, very cool. So many of the stitches I did were also like white, but I wanted to get down into the head, so it's just what it is. But I started on the 10th. Yay. And that style is fun. Follow Eric Smith if you want to see all the things people are working on.
They have a lot of people who joined in.
I know. It's like, oh, okay.
There are going to be a lot of dragons to see this year. Which is really cool because I think they all look good. I don't have a dragon pattern that I can join in with, but I like seeing them.
Yeah. Well, it's like I didn't want to buy a new pattern because it's like I have so many things, but it's like I always need to do my own model. So I was like, I have pictures of dragon things, so let me go make a pattern.
Oh, it's so cool. I love yours. It's so cool.
That I can work on so that I'm killing two birds with one stone and getting another model out the door. Yep. Because as you guys will see, I like to stitch everything. And so it's hard to sometimes focus on my own patterns, but it's fine. This second one is La Maison sampler, and this is by the Spanish stitcher Trelly on Etsy. And this sal was started by, it doesn't have like a name or anything, but Katie from So Tattered posted that she was going to be starting this on the 29th of January if anybody else wanted to. And I was like, you know what? I don't have any house alphabet traditional style samplers going right now. I wanted to do something else on 40 count because it's like I can't stitch on 40 count all the time because I can't really see it. But I want to be able to do, like, I like to have some projects on higher count that to do when I can, and then a lot of projects on smaller counts for when it's like dark in my apartment.
It's really teeny tiny.
So I did it's 240 stitches, but actually I did a lot more because basically what happened was I got out to here and then realized I had to frog back to here, and then I restitched what I had frogged. So I probably did closer to 400 stitches, but I really love it. It's really fun. Like, and I was doing this in my car because it's like the light's great. My children can't touch me. Like, it was really fun. Yeah,
honey on it.
So follow Katie from So Tattered, and I think Alba Stitcher as well is working on this. If you want to see other people who are working on it, my goal is to do the whole border, make sure that it meets up and everything before going into the interior, because the mistake I already made was that these are all 5 stitches and then this is 6 stitches. And I don't want to make another mistake like that again and then have to do a whole bunch of stuff in the middle, because it's not like a super symmetrical sampler in some ways, but then in other ways, like, it is very symmetrical. Well, and I didn't want to be like, So I'm going to deal with the border first. And it's a very easy border. It just, I have to just pay attention better than I did the first time. Very cool. And it's charted all in DMC, which is nice. And here's the palette.
I love that palette.
I think is very pretty.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I'm stitching it with this Princess oval hoop, and it lives in this 805 stitcher bag, which she's wonderful. And she has a floss tube that you should be watching, and she sent the matching needle minder with the bag.
That's sweet.
So yeah, so go check out Katie from So Tattered, especially if you don't know her channel and you love samplers. I love watching her because I feel like she's the best taste in samplers, and she also does a lot of quilting and does like a lot of vintage quilts. And they're always different because she's worked on so many. But I don't stitch a lot of the same stuff that she stitches because I don't stitch a ton of samplers, and so it was fun to be like, well, I'll stitch. She has such good taste. I'll do one of those, and then but I can't stitch as many. I just am not. I am a stitch all the things person, not a stitch one type of thing person. Yeah. All right, so those are my 2 starts.
Yay!
Yay!
I love a new start. I have too many.
I have. Well, we'll talk about this in plans, but there were some new starts I was supposed to do that I didn't do because I was sick. I lost a lot of stitching time the last 2 weeks to being sick. So they're kind of, some of them are going to happen still, and some of them are going to get pushed back. But I have a lot of starts this month that I haven't done yet.
You sound sad about that.
It's not that I'm sad about it. It's that it just takes a lot of energy.
Oh yeah, you don't
stop
like
and start it. Yeah, it's like, but that's why you need to do it.
Yeah,
but it's. I prefer like actually being able to just pick something up and go, which is why I need to get these started because I can't do any of the stitching on them. Like I have goals for them. So,
gotcha.
All right. Well, how about your whips?
Okay.
Whips are works in progress. How about your whips, Sissy?
Okay. I will first show you this one. This is the picture you're gonna have to put up there.
Oh, this is Cinderella #1 by Brooks Books.
Brooks Publishing. And this is where she's at.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She is. So I am stitching her on Navy Ada, 16 count Navy Ada. I had some decisions to make on this one. I stitched almost all of the regular cross stitches that just called for DMC, and I got to the point where I needed the Kreinik, and then I bailed because I put them all in my cart and it was over $30, and I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna make myself feel bad for spending how much money on one piece that's almost done, and really $30 worth of. It doesn't feel like there's $30 worth of stitching left.
It is crazy to have
the funness
because there's like 5 different colors.
Yeah,
but one of them are the ribbons that go on it,
which would be cool, but I don't know. I've never stitched with Kreinik before, so I don't know what I'm missing. If it's good, if it's bad, or whatever. But Stephanie said, we'll just find a DMC conversion chart, and I did. So I'm just using the DMC version of the Kreinik colors. So I've started to fill in all the.
Oh, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is, I'm not a sparkle person. I am not a opalescent Ada person. I am not like a beads person. And so to me, I don't lose anything. Like I'm gonna do the beads on the ones I have now, but like I don't lose anything on the idea that like convert it to DMC and move on, because I like the image, but I don't really like the sparkle and the extra. Like I'm not.
Sometimes,
but you are a sparkle person, so I'm a little bit
person.
surprised that you're like.
If it was like the whole thing, I have the whole thing left to do.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me another 100 hours to work on, and I need $30 worth of thread. I would probably do it. I have a couple days worth of stitching left, and to spend $30 more to have a couple of days more fun.
It is a lot of different colors for not much area,
right? Too. And actually, I did buy the beads. I bought the beads at the same time I bought the fabric. So it's gonna be all beaded up.
It
will be beaded. There aren't very many beads.
Yeah,
there's just 2 different colors, and there aren't very many. So it's gonna be beaded, but no sparkly threads. So
but it's looking so good.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I like it.
I think like a gray DMC sometimes gives the same effect as a silver, and I'm okay with it. And that's why on the silver bell sampler that I'm not showing today, but then I'm working on the Christmas bell sampler.
Yeah.
I haven't committed to any of the sparkly stuff, even though I bought it, because I'm like, I don't know if I want to work with it, and I think silver would be just as pretty.
So I've worked with DMC metallics, and they are hard.
I hate them.
They're very hard, and you waste a lot.
And I've also heard petite treasure braid is actually easier to work with than Kreinik, but I haven't. I have Kreinik for projects that I haven't stitched with yet because I'm doing the DMC first.
Yeah.
So I'll figure that out later. But
well, you do it. You tell me. You report back, and then maybe on the next dress, because I want to do more dress. She has like 12 different.
But also, if you like how
dresses.
The DMC looks, then it doesn't make sense to do
That's
the extra.
True. That's true. I guess we'll just have to wait. I'm going to try and finish this by the end of the month. So, which I really don't have that much more to do.
And Allison started this as part of her birthday sal, which was the hashtag Princess Birthday Sal. And so many of you guys like have tagged us in your projects. I know Stitching Jet just posted this morning an update on hers, and she has a really cool. She's another British floss tuber that I like to watch because I love a British floss tube. So check her out. But there's a lot of really fun, cool people that joined in on that sal. So it's exciting
really
you're going to
nice.
get it finished.
I know. I'll hopefully get it finished.
My 2 birthday projects, Princess Birthday Sal projects, are not going to be finished anytime soon. So.
Well, my other one I didn't even work on. So.
Oh, somebody left. I told you that somebody left a really interesting comment on the Thomas Kincaid video that you need about that kit. That you
I
need to
know,
check
and I
out.
finally got in the group, the Facebook group, and I am one of those people who doesn't know how to use Facebook, so I will learn and I will find it, and then I will feel more comfortable working on the Thomas Kincaid Cinderella one. Okay.
All right, next week.
Next. Okay, I'm really happy with this one.
I love it.
This is DeesTwentyStitches, Stitch for Pride 2024, Sal. And this is, the one I did is February's chart. And I'm not going to pronounce his name right. Kindy Riley?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
But I didn't do the reading about it either, but we'll put it right here.
Put it right here.
And he's a very famous artist.
Yeah.
You'll recognize
He
his
did
work.
the Obama portrait, like the official Obama portrait.
The one where he's like got the like plants and it's like very famous.
It's very cool.
You saw some of his work in the
Oklahoma City Museum of Art. We have a piece by him, and I've shown it on my Instagram. Me standing in front of it because when he had the entire exhibit was there, is when I went, and it was so beautiful. And we still have a couple pieces.
Cool.
Yeah. So I was so excited, and I think this is just such a beautiful thing. It's getting washed out a lot. It looks better in person, I feel like. You can see the yellow is better in person than you can on the camera.
I see what you mean.
So
you can kind of see it better there.
But I love the colors because if you've seen his art, you know how colorful it is, and the florals with the bright, blues and stuff. So I thought it really was a good Cosmo choice.
And this is on fabric.
This is Mislaid Pages. Determination is the name of the fabric. And it's a 16 count Ada.
I had mentioned on the last couple Flosstubes, so I'll just say we found out like a definitive. So I had said before that like I had asked you if there was a chance that the cell might reopen because I had like major FOMO, and they said like maybe, and if it does, get on their newsletter. And they clearly they'd been asked this a lot, and so they came out on their Instagram and said that they kind of made a final decision that they were not going to be reopening it this year, that the patterns will be for sale after a year, which is
so you
pretty
can
normal.
stitch it, just
but they'll be available as individual patterns. So you'll be able to decide, do you want all of them, or is there one that you love the most? But if you are interested in this pattern or any of Dee's other releases, because I have another one of Dee's patterns I'm going to be working on soon that I'll show you guys in plans, get on their newsletter list, because that is and also follow them on Instagram, because that is the easiest way to get information. And then they have a floss tube as well.
I might like Dee too much.
Allison has a parasocial relationship with Dee that is very sweet.
Okay, moving on. All right, this is also another cross stitch the globe model stitch. I'm doing it as a present. I don't know if it's a model.
It is a model because I will sell the pattern.
Okay, well then this is a model stitch. This is the Vineyard. It's a picture from Portugal.
And here's the original picture. Yeah. It's from a vineyard in Portugal.
Yeah. I did not work on it very much. My plan was to stitch it on a day that we were going to go fishing, and it rained, and it was gross, and it was wet. So I didn't want to get out and even go to the lake to fish. I'm going to fish.
You were going to stitch while I was going to
stitch while he fishes, and that's fine because I get to enjoy the food. And
shout out to
stitching.
What's the 405 Fisher? What's his channel?
Sudi. I don't know.
Her husband's
right here.
Work husband has a YouTube channel about fishing in Oklahoma, but also started watching our Flosstube the other day to be nice and subscribed. And I was going through the subscribers, and I was like, the 405 fish, like I was
Fisherman or something like that. Yeah.
Her
Thanks,
husband's
Sudi.
work buddy. So hi, if you're still watching.
Go check out his fishing videos. Him and my husband are fishing buddies, so that's their thing. But so yeah, I've been working on this for a long time. I need to focus more. But now that it's spring, it was hard to work on in the winter. But now that it's spring and it's like, those colors are so beautiful and soft, and I am going to be getting it out because the original picture is just gorgeous. So there's that. I didn't do very much work, and I gridded it myself. This was before I discovered that you can buy it pre-gridded, and so that alone took freaking forever.
Yeah, it looks like it took forever.
It takes forever. So if you grid your own fabrics, more power to you. Never. I'm not doing that again.
Ever again.
Ever again.
Because you used to do
Ever
it all
again.
the time.
Oh, I did it. I've done it on every single
Yeah.
project before starting Flosstube. Every
Yeah.
single project I've graded myself. And it takes forever. You see, it takes absolutely forever. And I think it looks fine, like when you pull out the thing,
Yeah.
but then it takes forever to pull out all of the.
It's not quite
gridded-
as easy as just
oh
washing
my
it
gosh.
out.
And I say that, but I've never washed one that was full
Pre-gridded.
coverage. I've never. So I'm kind of worried about the lines staying, but since they're full coverage, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I'm thinking out loud though. But my Sooner Santa one has outlined. I'm not going to do his full background because it's just white.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping
It'll be
it
fine.
washes out.
It'll be fine.
We'll see. Okay, my next one. This is, I can't remember if I showed this on my list.
Oh, I
also
like the
or not.
green.
I do not.
I like it.
I do not like it.
I think that, yeah, I don't have a problem with this.
So a prairie year or prairie school year,
A Prairie Year.
Prairie year. January's chart, February's chart. February's chart. You see the hearts are like outlined in green.
I like it. I don't have a problem with
I
it,
heard
but-
someone on Flosstube say like, you don't change DMC colors on Prairie School because that's how they are. That's the style. That's what it looks good. Just trust the process. I did that and it looks terrible.
I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. Because also, the green is to make it, they all are green, right?
Yeah, but I think they could have used the green better.
I like it. I think
It looks shamrocky with all the green.
no, it's not because it's no, not to me.
Okay. Well, then I did February, so I realized I have a lot
Because
of
the
monthly
green
stitches.
is the neutral on here because it's like so to me it's like oh it's red.
Okay. If you say so.
I think it looks good.
Thank you.
But
But I'm gonna do all the months on one,
I
and
want
then have it and then have it framed together. And I think I'm gonna put 2024 at the bottom.
Oh
I have a lot of monthly stitches.
yeah.
A lot. of
Because
monthly stitches.
my thinking is because having multiple whips freaks you out, but if it's a monthly stitch, you're like, I do it and then I put it aside till the next
That's
month.
true.
It's very like planned.
They are active.
Yeah.
They're all very active.
Yesterday, her husband was like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't start any more projects." And she's like, "I was like, oh, so are you thinking about not starting the ones you're about to start?" She's like, "He doesn't know about those."
He does now. Thanks a lot. No,
He
he'll
will-
figure it out.
He will in the future.
He'll figure it out. He's very, very supportive. He's very supportive. After watching our extra on all the most expensive ones, he was like, "We should get you that, honey. We should get you that."
Aww.
And I was like, "Are you insane?"
And I was, yeah. He was like, "Well, we'll get you Our Lady of the
I
Flag, or the
know.
Lady of." I keep calling it Our Lady of the Flag, the Lady of the Flag, and
The Lady of the Flag.
But-
yeah, which we both really like. So
I think if we find it for a good deal, if I find it for a good deal, then you should do it.
I will not buy it for myself, but if he wanted to gift it to me, that would be different. This is, I'm sorry, I actually have a pattern for this. This is Garden of Skulls. It's real shiny. By Prairie Moon. This is a restart.
If they hadn't have started selling their patterns as PDFs, I bet some of theirs would have been in the $100 range. At
Oh,
this
you think
point.
so?
Because even
Well,
the
'cause
PDFs
this is
are like
30.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy it for 30. That's what they're selling for on the website.
Yeah, I got 3, I think, for 20. 3
Oh,
from that
okay.
company for 20
I don't remember.
in a DeesTash Facebook.
It wasn't 30. I know that.
Facebook Marketplace
I
thing.
think I got it for 10.
Yeah, I
Better
think
than
you.
you.
Yeah.
And this is a restart because the first time I did it, I cut the fabric for a 40 count instead of a 14 count, which is quite a big difference. So this is an appropriate size piece of fabric. And this is my start, and I love it so much.
It's
Oh, I
very
love
pretty.
this stitch. And it's monochromatic, and it's Ada, and it's easy, and I can see it even though because it's 14, even though it's black. So this is my travel stitch. I'm going to put it in my purse and just stitch it everywhere I go.
It's very pretty.
I'm excited. I like the Barbie pink on the black. I think it looks great. It's very much fun. Yay. All right. And those are my whips.
Yay! You didn't work on your ink circles?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I have to do
It's
that
so weird
Saturday
to have
or
one
Sunday morning.
where we're not talking about ink circles.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just disorienting. Like, what's happening?
Next time.
A lot of the projects I work on every week I didn't get to because I was sick, and they're not here either. And it's like, who are we? If we're doing it?
No, I'll do that one next. I have to work on it with excellent light because it's on 40 count. And since we were at the Silver Needle yesterday,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it yesterday. And then this morning I worked on finishing February on the Prairie Explorer. So I had fill in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I realized, so I didn't, on my new start, I didn't tell you guys that the La Maison sampler, I'm doing it on 40 count maple sugar by Lakeside Linens, which is why I think it's so pretty. It's such a pretty piece of linen. But also, if you saw our video where I was like, look at my like huge linen haul, it's crazy. See, I use it.
You do.
I didn't just
No one is saying you don't use it.
Pulled it out, and
I'm still saying it's
a lot.
A lot. It's a lot.
I'm using it.
You are using
my whips. Okay. So the first one, so my family was hit by a very weird fever chill thing that made it very difficult to it was like really like a head cold. And so there was 2 days where I only did 100 stitches between the 2 days. I did stitch both days, but I like barely could stitch. And when I was able to stitch again, it was like I needed to pull out Ada, like something Ada and blocky. So this got 1,000 stitches.
Oh, really?
Because this was the easiest thing for me to work on when I like couldn't really work on anything.
Yeah.
So this has already hit its February goal, so it's
Nice.
gonna go away until March now. But this is the Palace of Sentra. You can see the mock-up here. This is one of my patterns that I started for her birthday Sal. The other pattern I started for her birthday Sal is Mirabilia Cinderella, but I didn't work on that yet.
I was gonna say I didn't see that today.
It's not. It's a February whip go goal, but I haven't started the whip go goal for it yet, so you guys will see it next time.
Yeah.
But all right, so I basically just like kept working. Like I'm doing the typewriter method where I go to the top leftmost empty square, get that color and do that color as much as I can with like some minimal counting. So that's how I ended up. Once I got to the started getting in the castle, it becomes much more confetti-ish. So that's why you see stitches like over here and stuff too. But mostly I was just like in the sky, continuing to fill in the blues and purples of the sky because this picture is from sunset.
Very pretty.
So 14 count Ada, not fancy. But my goal is to do 1,000 stitches a month, and it's 15,000 stitches. So at some point, then I'll up it when I'm like really feeling it, like that it's getting close.
When it's getting close, you get that drive. You're like, I can do it. I can do it.
But I'd like to have it done by your birthday next year.
Yeah. Because
this is the one I started on your birthday this year.
Oh, that's a good goal. I should make a goal for the Thomas Kincaid one to be done by my next birthday. That might be a stretch. It's a full coverage.
And then you guys saw the picture. It's a yellow palace. The actual palace has like areas that are not yellow. It has like areas that are red too, but they're not in this picture. You can see it's a very yellowy, bright, sunshiny piece. And I'm working on it with this Duchess oval hoop, and it lives in this 805 stitcher bag that is like so bright and fun and yellow, just like this pattern. And I'm actually kind of sad it's going away, but I have like so many like whip go goals and other things that I did not get to yet this month that I really can't justify continuing to like work on it. But I could see if I was like having a day where I really didn't want to stitch and I just needed to force myself, it'd be easy to be like, okay, well, I'll just put some time in that one.
Yeah.
All right. So I had for whip go, which if you don't know what whip go is, it's like work in progress bingo, basically. And it's hosted by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and she has a great video on her channel that explains like how to do it. And I know some people asked when I posted on the community tab that like I'd hit one of my 2 WIPCO goals for January. Somebody asked like what's WIPCO and how do you do it? So I'll put in the description. I answered so it's in that community tab question, but I'll also put in the description the link to the video from Jessie Marie Does Stuff on how to do like how she does WIPCO.
And everybody kind of does their own.
And there's other ones like the Floss and Customs just started doing like a heifer board.
Yeah.
There's people have taken the idea and gone and done some fun things with it. Yeah. But I had 2 January WIPCO goals. One I completed, one I didn't. But my rules, if I finish the goal this month, it gets to count. So I'll finish the other one by the end of this month. But I did finish my January goal for coffee and eggs. So I put in 2,300 stitches in this in January.
Wow.
Because I had to put in the regular stitches it should have gotten every week, which was 200, plus the 1,300 from WIPCO.
Wow.
So it got its 1,300. It's 2,300 stitches.
Excellent.
But since the last time you saw it, it got 1,600 or 600. I finished the mug. I might have finished the mug last time, but this whole coffee pot got done. And now I'm kind of in a weird standstill because I don't know where to go next. But it does need to get 800 stitches this month, so it is going to come out again soon. But it's like I think I'm going to go into the tree thing. Yeah, I just did it. It's the coffee pot.
No. I thought there was a burner.
No, there's like a tree with chicken. I'll show you guys the pattern here.
Oh, the chicken. Yeah.
And there's like, and part of me, like the rainbow branch thing up here, part of me is nervous to do the counting because I don't want to do the eggs yet. And part of me is nervous to do the counting to the tree from any other thing other than the eggs because the eggs is the easiest one. And if it's like one too low, then it can mess up. So I'm just kind of, I think I'm going to go into the tree and get the tree and the chicken and stuff next.
Very good.
But I really love this piece. And when we were talking about like most expensive patterns, and I wouldn't spend that amount of money on those particular patterns, but I was telling her Allison in the car yesterday, I think if I had seen Coffee and Eggs and it wasn't a new release, it was a 20-year-old out of print pattern, I think I would have gone crazy and spent what I needed to spend to get it. Because this is like so like, this would, if this hadn't have been, it's weird. It's like, what's the name of a pattern that's your unicorn pattern, but it's not a unicorn. It's easy to get and everyone's stitching it too. But like for you, it's like your soulmate pattern. Like this pattern is it for me. I am obsessed with it. I don't even mind, like, I don't want to hurry up and finish it. It's like,
yeah,
I'm obsessed with it. So, and I love all the Artsy Housewife patterns. And some of her new releases look really cool, but like, I don't even know if I would love her other stuff as much as I do if I hadn't seen this one first. It's kind of an entry into like what's going on in this brain, you know?
She, I just watched her Flosstube on Market.
Yeah.
She was so nice.
She's so interesting too.
She shows the DMC conversions.
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
She puts the DMC conversions in every pattern.
In every pattern?
Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Now, she also is very thoughtful about her DMC conversions. So I'm using the fancy floss here. But there are things in this where you can definitely tell the variegation matters, and she will mention where she thinks the DMC really needs to be a blend or something to get it. This is 39% done.
It's only 39%? Yeah. Wow, that's a big pattern.
That chicken tree is big, the rainbow. I mean, like, yeah. But I love it. It's on 28 count baked clay by Fox and Rabbit. It's the called for, I'm using the call for flosses and the call for fabric, but it's not the, I think the model is on 32 or 36, or maybe even 36. So like this is bigger than the model, but I'm actually really okay with that because of how important it is to me. I'll be so happy when it's like, and this is the bottom. This isn't the side, but this is the bottom. So you can see like I do have a good margin. It's just that it's very packed in the space.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that lives in this Carrie Sews For You Paper Rifle Company Fox bag. God, when I finish this piece, I am gonna cry. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna love it.
You need to have something else to replace it right away.
Well, luckily, I'm starting her at the Artsy Housewives, the Pink Barn, before our next floss tube. And by the time this is finished, I'll have 2 or 3 other starts on Artsy Housewife patterns to like console myself. Okay. And maybe I need to buy Geraldine's flowers. Probably do. That would help. All right, the next one is my piece by Told in the Garden, which this is called The Song of the People, and it got 500 stitches. Now, so something I told you guys, I had been trying to hit it a little bit every day, and that really was not getting, and it was just not getting done. And so I decided instead to focus on it on Thursdays, and it was another Ada project that I could pick up when I was sick. So I was sick, could barely see. Let me bust out the thing that's on 14 count. Summer Khaki Ada. Yeah. And I just busted this tree out. So this pattern has so many areas with these trees in the background. So I'm not even close to being done with those 2 colors. But it was fun to get this one done. So there's more over here, and then this building has 2, and then there's some bushes. But this section is done. Nice. And then I came in and started working on this quilt. So that's where I'll be stuck for probably a little while because these quilts take a long time. Nice. Even just reading, these are like hand-drawn patterns. Even just reading what symbol is supposed to go in what square is hard on on some of the quilts because they're like so different, but I love it. We've talked a lot about Told in the Garden on this channel just because of like, you know, it's not a super, it's not a super common imprint that people stitch, but it's like famous and it's been around enough. And it's by Marriott Levitt Emblem. I'm probably pronouncing her last name wrong. She does lavender and lace and butternut road, so more people have seen the lavender and lace patterns, and then even more people know now that her daughter. Her daughter is Nora Corbett of Mirabilia and Nora Corbett Designs. So this is a very, this is from her time growing up near the Amish. So it's like scenes of Amish life is what the Told in the Garden is about. But you can kind of see, like, I don't know. It's fun to me, the lineage of like all of these different things and ideas.
Nice.
And that lives in this Barn Quilts bag by Carrie Sews For You that I just adore. And I'm using this princess, I think it's like an 8-inch princess hoop on this one. And I love it. I really love it. Like, I'm really glad I switched to focusing on it one day a week because it's very fun. Like, it's a fun, easy pattern to stitch. It's very different than like, it's not fiddly. Like, it's very fun. Very blocky. It does have some backstitch, but not as much as some of our other patterns. All right. So this is the January Whip Cup goal that did not get finished. So since you guys saw this, this is Fairy Flora by Nora Corbett, by Mirabilia, by Nora Corbett, but it's Mirabilia. It got 500 stitches since the last time we saw it, but it still needs another 700 before I can call it finished. So I'll be doing it, but I haven't had a night where I wanted, because it's like, it's very easy stitching, but the counting is very important because of the beads. And so it's very meditative and easy, but you almost meditate so much that you're like, wait a minute, that's a bead. But Fairy Flora is a pattern that got retired last year. And so I started it with Rachel from Licking Floss, and we decided to start it like when she got retired as kind of like a retirement party for her. And Sarah from Memphis Sarah E is also stitching her and said she'd join us. And so definitely check out those ladies. I don't think they've worked on her in their recent videos, but they are both just like great Mirabilia stitchers and Nora Corbett stitchers. So if that's something you like, definitely check both of them out. So I think I'm going to keep working on here. Then I think I want to get up to her face, because I do think that sometimes when you have something with a face on it, it's like a little bit more rewarding to keep going on it. And I found that with like coffee and eggs and with the Santas and stuff, it's like, yeah, once you put the face in. But to get to the face, I have like a lot of dense dress work here. And so I've been just being down here to avoid it. But I think it might be time when I get like, maybe when I finish 1 or 2 more passes to like start heading
ready
north. Yeah.
Ready for the face.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ready, but this is on 28 count Earth by Pfeiffer on a Whim.
Very pretty.
And yeah, like she's going to be huge. She's going to take up this whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
I really love it. This is my first Mirabilia. I didn't start as part of that style. I started her for Nora November. But this is the first one I started. I have others that I'm working on and others that I will be starting. This will always be the first one I started.
Be the first.
It may not be the first one I finish. And then she got shuffled around, and I think the bag she ended up in is perfect for her. This beautiful rose bag from Carrie Sews For You. Very beautiful. But last time, like I said, we had this inane tangent where I like tried to plan like how to move things around to get the dragons in the dragon bag. And I think everybody got bags that are good for them. And she has my favorite hoop, which is this 12 by 5.5 inch princess oval. This is my favorite size hoop. If you just like happen to have one, you like don't want it, feel free to send it to me. It's my favorite. All right, I'm getting down to it. I got 3 whips left. All right, one I didn't have you iron because it has pen, like heat pen on it. And I kind of wanted to just wash it out and grit it, but I'm a little nervous because the way that I frantically wrote out my, all right, so these are my Prairie Schooler stockings. I have talked at length about it, so I won't go too much into it, but I'm basically doing Christmas stockings for my kids as from the Prairie Schooler, but the Prairie Schooler stocking patterns are not exactly. They're a jumping off point to start negotiations, Cher would say. So I'm doing that. I got an idea from Michelle McGraw from Made by Michelle McGraw, whose channel you should definitely watch, especially if you like Christmas stitching, because she does it year round. She was going to do she is doing Prairie Schooler Santas on her kids' stockings, and they got to pick them out. My kids are like 1 and 4, so my daughter is not getting to pick hers out. I'm just using her birth year, but I think it's perfect for her. So I started, this is the beginnings of this.
So cute.
The 2022 Penguin
Baby
Santa.
penguin.
And I know it's like, it looks a little crowded because I want it to be crowded. I want it to be Santa and then band of motifs, and the motifs are getting pulled from like both this stocking book and then also I have like, see how they just have like rows of things. Well, I have a bunch of Prairie Schooler Christmas ones and I even have more in haul to pick from for like what the bands are just going to be. And I just want it to be like very full.
It's such a cool idea. It's so unique. Like no one will have that stocking.
Yeah, it's like
no one.
Anybody can make a stocking with a similar idea, but like nobody's will be
exactly like you
Then for my son, I'm going to do my daughter's Santa first, but my son did decide that he did pick. So I did let him pick between his birth year and this one. He's going to do that one. So my goal is to have both of them done sometime in the summer so I can get them finished. And then next year I'll do this one for me. And then my husband still has to pick his out. Because I'm not going to ask him to pick something out 2 years in advance. Like, he can pick it out the day before I have to start stitching it.
Right.
Or he won't. But yeah,
pick it out for you.
It's only 400 stitches, but starting with the face really did make him come alive like instantly. Whereas like if it wasn't on the stocking, I didn't have to start at the top center because I have to start in the center of these because of how like even the bands I have to start in the center. So I had to do the face first, which is not like what I would normally choose to do. But then him having a face, I feel like I feel so much more accomplished on it than.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like very impressive work.
So I love it.
That's so much compared to.
I'm actually quite behind on how many stitches I need to get in this month for them to be ready by the summer.
Yeah.
So there may be sometime this summer where I'm like, you know what, I can't do anything else until these are done. But if that's okay, because these are like the one project I have on a major deadline that's like very important to me. I really want to use them next Christmas.
Then they need to be done
this Christmas. Yeah.
Well, for finishing.
They need to be done by September.
Yeah.
The finishers that live in Oklahoma City that mostly finish needlepoint that do stockings to stop taking Christmas stuff in October. So I want to get it done. I had a schedule for like beginning of September, but I'm already a little behind. So like I said, there may be some point where this summer I have to be like, I'm monogamously stitching stockings, but by then I would hopefully be just down in the bands and it would be pretty easy stitching.
Yeah.
So, because the big Santa motifs at the top are the like hardest parts, and then it's just going to be like, 10 mooses, 10 little swans.
Oh, that's going to be so cool.
And I did get my floss organized. So for this project, I just have the Prairie Schooler colors from one of the Santas. And I'm like, so that, because some of the older Prairie Schoolers, and they just, sometimes they'll use a different red or green. So it's like, well, I'm using these colors. And if I'm not going to add any colors to this palette unless there's a really good reason, because I want all 4 stockings done in the same palette.
Yeah.
So if there's a really good reason, then think about it. But other than that, this should cover. Like I'm taking the neon out of the lights of the penguin piece because I'm just going to do them in this gold because I want it to just be this palette.
Makes sense.
And then I'm using this Vintage Gibbs Manufacturing Co. Spring Hoop. And this lives in this cat from Vineyard Stitchers made me this project bag. And honestly, like this is such a like work type of project. It's not like dainty stitching. It's like I have this like, this feels like my little Santa's workshop bag for these like, so it's like, it's been so fun to like be like, oh, this is my briefcase for my stocking work that I'm doing. But
that's very cool.
She made that for me for this, for my Prairie Schooler.
It's like the so nice Prairie School.
And it's this beautiful like, Teresa Kogut fabric. And anyway, I love Kat. She's so nice. And I didn't get to work on her pattern candy this week either because I was like, I couldn't see, so I couldn't work on dark fabrics really.
It's in my plans.
All right, I have 2 left. So this is Allie Anushka's Alphabet. This is a Cyrillic alphabet sampler from OwlForest Embroidery. It's on, oh, I forgot. The stockings are on 28 count, oaken by Pictureless Plus. This is 36 count light mocha by Zweigart. It's the called for. So this pattern is called Al-Yanushka's alphabet, and it's just a Cyrillic sampler. So this Cyrillic alphabet is the alphabet used it's not the Russian alphabet. It is used by the Russian language, but also used by the Bulgarian language and the Moldovan language and the Serbian language and the Ukrainian language. Like, so it's not just like Russia, but it is like Eastern and Slavic. And I lived in Eastern Europe for a long time, and I write about it. I own a site about traveling in the Balkans, and I lived in Bulgaria for a long time. And so this just has a lot of meaning to me personally. And I love it. And I stitch it on Fridays for OwlForest Friday, which is a hashtag started by Sarah from Stitchy Sarah. Stitchy Sarah reads on Instagram. Sarah Stitchery on Flosstube. And her Flosstube is amazing. She has so many beautiful finishes. Like, she is one of those stitchers who finishes their pieces
like
so
right after she's done,
and in cool ways. So it's because she's a teacher. She just gets things done. So her and Allie from Allie Z is Crafty started OwlForest Fridays, which is, I'm very thankful to them, because to me it is a great way to end the week on Friday. So I stitch this on Friday mornings when I'm watching my kids and they go take a nap. I'll pull this out, and I'm using the OwlForest floss pack for it, which is very beautiful. I think the color is really beautiful. This will take me a very long time. I think I can get this block done pretty soon. And then with how many times it's on my Whipco board and the fact that I do it a little bit on Fridays, by the end of the year I could see having 4 or 5 blocks done. But there's 35 blocks, so like, I don't want it to take 7 years. So at some, at some point I'm gonna have to work on it faster than I'm going. But those are the variegated flosses.
Very cool.
But I love it.
Yeah,
I love OwlForest. I just love an OwlForest piece.
that's good.
And like,
I like your style.
Doesn't the variegation in that red look so good?
Yes.
There's a DMC variegated red that the Queen of Skeins was talking about how much she loves. It's really pretty. That I think would also work really well if you wanted to do.
I think I used it on my OU stitch.
I think so. Yeah.
I do love that.
What is in this cross-stitch fabric Carrie sews for you bag? Just because red. I didn't.
Cute.
Because red. All right.
Red.
My last whip. Yay. Okay. So.
Oh, I love this one.
This is Yellow Submarine by Blackbird Designs. Me and Julian Stitches 16 are starting a Blackbird Beetle Sal. The hashtag is Fab4FanSal on the 13th. And so I really wanted to have this done by then, but then it's not going to be done by then. So I'll just be stitching this and Strawberry Fields Forever. And it'll be great.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Since the last time you guys saw this, I stitched this on Sundays. So I stitched this during True Detective. And then I came down here and stitched around here during Just Keep Stitching. And then Brendan, the serial starter. I got a bunch of this. So, but yeah, I just love it. I just love it. It's on Through the Stones by Stitch Me in 28 count. And
it is so cute.
I love it.
Cute.
Now, the Sal. If you're joining us for the Sal, follow me, follow Julie, tag us, use the hashtag, but also like tag us and we'll share. Because that is the 13th. It's like almost here. Like it's in 2 days, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. But also Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Spot is doing a Blackbird Beetle Sal with Pam, and they were totally independent. I think they're already stitching theirs, right? Yeah,
they started on the day that the Beatles landed in America, which was like the 10th or something.
And we're starting. So, but Sarah
whenever you start it.
Sarah said she's going to use our hashtag. I'm going to use their hashtag too, which I'll put here. I think it's BBD.
Mystical.
Yeah.
Magical, mystical.
So also follow her because she's working on Eleanor Rigby, which Allison is going to be starting.
Yes, I'm going to start it. Well, as soon as my fabric gets here, then I'll start it.
And Marissa from MK's Creations is joining us. Jan from Who Put Up With Jan Holder is joining us. There's a few other people too that I'm just blanking on. But yeah, so these patterns are so fun and they're very cool. And I'll talk in plans about my Strawberry Fields Forever plans. But this has been so fun. It's just like, And to do this on Sunday nights, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, lovely. This pattern is all Gentle Arts. It's really pretty. And it lives, Kat also made me this yellow submarine project bag for this project, which is another perfect bag. She has a very good eye for picking out like what
Swimming kitties
fabrics would be so fun for a project. Yeah. All right. Those are my whips. Yay. All right.
Okay.
What is next? Okay.
Don't remember. We do this every week.
Plans. What are your plans?
Oh, okay. Plans. We just talked about it. I'm gonna do the Eleanor Rigby Blackbird Designs start, but the piece of fabric I bought yesterday, I decided I don't like enough to do something that's not a full coverage on, so I ordered a piece of fabric from 123Stitch, and as soon as it gets here, I'll start the sale with you guys. But
it's a start along slash. It's very loose. It's not like one of those where it's like do this piece in this week.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So that's part of my plans. The other part of my plans are to start Candy by Whittier Stitcher's Cat. But I'm not gonna do. This sounds weird. I'm not gonna do the.
You guys have seen
lady.
this piece. I'm starting it. It looks like this.
Yeah.
I'm not starting it. I already started it.
Yeah.
I'm working
Stephanie's
on it.
working on it already. I'm not going to do the lady. I'm just going to do the cat, which I found out Tristan is the cat in the moon. Yeah.
That's really
so
cool.
I'm going to do the cat in the moon, and I'm so excited about this. I also ordered a special piece of fabric for it with my other one, and when it gets here, I'm starting it. So all my starts have to, hinge on when my delivery will be here.
Candy is a free pattern, and so if you are interested in stitching her, she is like a curvy, fancy lady, and she's free.
Fancy lady. I couldn't
And if
think
you
of the
are
words.
interested in stitching her or her cat or both, in the description is the under like Ko-Fi shops. Cat from Whittier Stitches, you get it through her Ko-Fi shop. Ko-Fi, whatever.
Coffee? I don't know.
But yeah, I love her.
So those are my plans. I'm going to start those. And then I'm going to continue to do Pick a Whip, which I picked out. It was Stitch Something with a Flower, so I did the Vineyard.
Oh.
So that's why I worked on that one, and we'll see what the next one is on the 15th. Yeah.
So for my plans, so I'm going to start the Strawberry Fields Forever for the Beetle style. Now, I kitted it up at the Silver Needle, which I didn't actually bring those flosses because I like put them in the bag.
Oh.
But reason I needed to kit it at the Silver Needle, which is RLNS, which we'll talk about in a minute, is because there's 2 weeks dye works that are like, and one of them is like a really important red, and I don't stitch with weeks, and so I needed to like visually see the other fancy floss options to pick one out. And because it was like such an important part of the pattern, I also didn't want to only do that in DMC because it's like the red that's in like the house.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's like one of the most important places for it to be variegated.
Variegation.
So I don't have it with me here, but in the description, I'll list the 2 colors that are weeks, what the Silver Needle employees helped me, because I ended up asking for help, and they helped me figure out what were the best 2 replacements. So I'll list what those 2 are. So if you're interested in stitching that pattern, but you also don't stitch with weeks, these are what the Silver Needle, one of the best LNSs in the country,
Yay!
Helped me pick out.
Nice. It was really fun.
We love them.
Yeah. It was really fun.
Okay, so my other plans is I need to start the Pink Barn, which I should have already started and I forgot about. So the Pink Barn by the Artsy Housewife looks like this. And it was already in my 2024 plans video that this would be a February start, and I kind of forgot. And then the Pink February Stitching hashtag came out, and I forgot I was supposed to start this.
Yeah.
Allie was like, you only have 1 pink whip, because I said I wanted, and I was like, I think so. And then I've been looking at whips, I'm like, well, that has some pink, but I don't associate any of them as like mostly pink whips. Yeah. But the Pink Barn will be a good, so I was supposed to start it anyway, but I will like use the hashtag. Yeah. And then I have 2 round robins that I really, really, really now have to start, because now I'm like, I'm not going to be behind on them because my parts on them aren't that big, but like I need to get them started. Okay. So, and
that's
then
one of the things that scares me about round robin
is the schedule.
Yeah.
Well, on one of them I only have to do like 700 stitches. And it's like, okay, that's not a big deal. But I have to finalize the fabric and stuff. And then tonight I'm gonna be putting away so I'm not gonna get as much stitching done tonight too, because after I edit, I'm gonna stitch a little bit on the beetles, but then I'm gonna put away all the fabric that I haven't put away that I've got. And then that'll get me to have my fabric out, and I'll finalize what my fabric choices are on these round robins.
Okay.
All right, and then those are my plans.
Good plans.
All right, Flosstube University. This is a section where because we obviously watch a lot of Flosstube. We mentioned a lot of Flosstubers.
It's a big part of our day.
I watch Flosstube when I'm watching my kids because it's like, for the most part, very family friendly, easy, and even if it wasn't family friendly, like, are they paying attention? No. And Allison's husband actually will watch Flosstube with her, so we watch an abnormal amount of Flosstube. So Flosstube University is a section where we like to remember one or two things that we learned from a Flosstuber and share a tip with you, and go check out those great Flosstubes. Because it also helps me remember things that, it's fun to write down the things I'm learning, because then I remember,
Yeah.
All right, who do you have for Flosstube University?
Okay, so I already congratulated them, the two tall stitchers, on their 50th episode, but the episode was really, really good because they were talking about framing, and they were doing a lot of finishing in this episode, and she had a tip. She said she brings a piece of batting with her stitch when she gets it framed, and she has them frame it with the batting behind the linen.
Nice.
So without glass. So it puffs just a little bit, and it, she showed it, it looked amazing. And
do you know what kind of batting it was?
I'm going to do that. No, I do not.
All right, so go check out Two Tall Stitchers, because we don't have all the information.
No.
You need to go check them out.
Go. It's
but
great.
That is really interesting. And I just dropped off a sampler, and so now I wish I had known that tip.
Well, yeah, after I heard that, I was like, oh, I can't make them do it again. It's my FFO. They can't do it again. That's twice is enough. It's enough.
Well, the first time was
that was on
they
them,
put
it was about an inch on this side.
We should have
an inch
taken a
and a half
picture
on
of it.
this
It was
side.
so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, you can't ask them to do it again.
No, I can't. But anyway, so go check out Two Tall Stitchers. And I've seen them before, but somebody in our last video commented that we should go check them out and that they really like the polls. And I had forgotten, they poll their audience a lot, and that is really interesting.
She works at an LNS, I think, in Indianapolis, and she also has she owns a long arm quilt machine.
And so she said she stitched 7 million stitches on that thing. 7 million stitches.
So definitely check them out.
She's a pro.
Do you have anybody else?
No, that was it.
I have two. So Vanna Pfeiffer is not a secret. She's not a hidden gem. Everybody knows. But on her last Flosstube, she was talking about washing pieces, and it's very controversial. When do you wash, when do you not wash? She mentioned a product called Retro Clean. And if you have but she also said that the water on her piece was so disgusting that she was really, it had to be washed. But if you are worried about washing something, go check out her last video and watch the whole thing. Don't skip. But if you have to just get to the part, go to the part where she talks about cleaning. And this product, Retro Clean, is something that she recommends but I don't have the details of how she recommends. I just wrote it down, so I'll be like, okay,
go watch
that video. And I need to also go back and watch it and take more notes. So I'm like, okay, and save for what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Then I had written down Chandria Carroll's name for Flosstube University last time, but then I didn't write anything to go with it, and I couldn't remember what it was that I had learned from her. I really like Chandria's Flosstube. She's new, but she's friends with Will the Woman Crafts.
Okay.
But but I found her when she commented on one of our videos and was like, there was something about cultural or pop culture or something that she commented so I went and checked her out. And but then Will the Woman Crafts mentioned that she had learned this from Chandria Carroll, and I was like, that is what I wanted to say, and I had forgotten. Okay. So if you get an OwlForest kit, and I have an OwlForest kit that I'll be starting next month. Most of my patterns are from OwlForest are PDFs that I bought, and then I have bought the thread packs. But I do have one kit that I bought as a kit. And you want the PDF, if you email them and with your order number and stuff, they'll send you the PDF.
What?
And then that triggered the fact that I remembered, stitching at the cabin, so that you can do that to Dimensions kits too.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
And I've forgotten all of this. So Chandria Carroll, thank you Will the Woman Crafts for the reminder. And Stitching at the Cabin, different companies, but with Dimensions, you don't want to be I have 100 Dimensions kits, but I have one Dimensions kit that I'm going to show in haul that I am planning on starting at some point, and it would be good to get the PDF. I don't know if they get, it's a 1991
It's kind
kit,
of old, yeah.
so I don't know if they have PDFs to go back that far, but it's worth it if you are working on a dimensions kit. You're gonna have to take pictures of it in some way to show that you really own it, because they don't want to get scammed.
Yeah.
But that they will, and you only want to do like 1 or 2 at a time if you're like a huge dimensions kit person. But that sounds so much more delightful than stitching off of a paper pattern. And I have 2 dimensions kits. I have another one that I actually didn't start last summer because I couldn't get it to go into markup right. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll get the PDF for that too. It's like one of those flower mason jar patterns. I may not do it because now I have so many other things going on, but I should at least get the PDF so I can if I want to.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So that is Flosstube University. All right, haul. What did you? Okay, so actually, for haul, we had talked before about that we're gonna go to the Silver Needle Super Bowl party. We did. So I'm gonna insert a little tiny bit of vlog footage from our day yesterday here.
Okay.
Hey, we're on our way to the Silver Needle in Tulsa. We left Oklahoma City about 30 minutes ago. We'll be there in about an hour. It's like almost a true 90-minute drive from my house.
I think it's 89 minutes exactly.
Yeah, so the plan is to go to the Silver Needle first and then grab some kind of lunch. I have childcare. Dad's on duty all day, so like I'm not in a hurry. It's very nice. We both have like things we want to get at the Silver Needle, but we're also excited just to look at the sales table and stuff. So yeah, see you there. Or I don't know what I wanted to say. I don't know.
Like.
We're arriving in Tulsa. I spent the drive up trying to get my Year of the Dragon style floss on floss drops because I hate putting floss on floss drops or on bobbins. Like I just hate the process of getting the floss ready, and so this feels like found time. And it looks like I made good progress, except I'm only like 25% of the way done, and we're already almost there. So I'm not gonna get the whole thing done today, but that's okay. How's the drive going?
Very easy. It's 90 minutes, but it's pretty much a straight shot.
Yeah, it's like up a turnpike. Yeah, there. All right. All right, so we're at the Silver Needle. Now, I know I've heard people say it's like hard to find, and it is like a little bit weird. You just have to follow the GPS.
Google gets you there.
Like, will get you there. Just like trust it because it's in kind of like a strip center. It doesn't like, you don't really know like, oh, that's cross stitch heaven, like right there. Like I'll show you guys. See, we're just in kind of a little nice strip mall area next to the Boston Deli. So that's cross stitch heaven and that's a deli. And so you just got to follow the directions, but you will eventually get here. So we left the Silver Needle. We're happy with our purchases. You'll see those in a minute. Our bags are back there. We're gonna go to lunch. Where are we going?
Tally.
All right, welcome back. So that was a
Wild
kind
ride.
of yeah. So I have haul that's not that, and then I have my Silver Needle haul, and then I have, which look, I was pretty good. I bought mostly things that I had planned because I knew we were going up there for so long. I was able to write down anything I absolutely needed to buy in person. Do you have haul that's not Silver Needle?
I do not.
Okay,
No.
so let's do that first, and then I'll show my Stitch Me Club and then the couple things I got on eBay.
Okay, let's do it. So I got 3 packs. I was very good. I told my husband I'm going to spend about $100, and he said if that's all you spend, you know, that's a lot less than I was thinking it was going to be. So thank you very much, husband Jared. It ended up being about that much because I spent about 50 in the store, and then I spent about 50 online when they didn't have what I wanted in the store. So it ended up working out.
The cool thing about their Super Bowl sale is like they pull out all kinds of stuff that's like in the back, and they put more stuff on their 50% off table. Like it's just and all the models are out.
Yeah.
I hope you guys saw the model. There are
gosh.
models in the bathroom.
There are models everywhere. It was gorgeous. I was telling Jared, like, it's like going to a museum. Like, I would go to these LNSs because it's like visiting a free museum of gorgeous art.
Yeah.
Just everywhere you look. And I was just kind of comparing that to like when we go to Tulsa to go to the museum.
Well, we do drive up to Tulsa to the museum, and next time we do that, we need to tell Mom. And also, we're stopping at the Silver Needle.
The Silver Needle also has art, so
It's like there's a lot of things I can buy online, but some things like fancy floss converting, it's just easier to do it when you can see it.
yeah, it's just so nice to see.
All right, so what did you get?
Okay, I'm gonna take it out of the package. This I found. I wasn't looking for any specific patterns, so I just picked up the ones that I thought were calling to me. This little Be Mine is a heartstrings samplery. Samplery? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Biscornu.
It's a Biscornu, and I've always wanted to do one since I found out about them about 4 months ago. So always, stitching wise. And I'm not a finisher, so we'll see how this goes.
I think it'll be good.
I think so. That's what I'm thinking too.
Also,
It'll
it's a
force me to
hand
do
sewn
something
project,
different.
right? Like people do it by hand, right?
Yeah. It shouldn't take. And I used to stitch. I used to know how to sew, but
You
been a
own a
long
sewing
time.
machine.
I do because I used to know.
Yeah.
But I forget things quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
I was an excellent knitter. I used to knit dog sweaters for. I used to work at a homeless shelter, and I would knit dog sweaters for all the homeless dogs. Yes, that was a thing.
I didn't know that. That's so cute.
Oh no, I did. It was great.
I believe you. I'm not saying like, oh, I just didn't know it.
Oh, I did. Because they can't go inside.
Oh.
Yeah. So I knitted them all sweaters.
You can't knit
But
anymore.
I could not for the life of you tell you how to knit.
But you could watch a video and learn fast.
Maybe. I think I gave away all my knitting stuff because I was like,
That's
I don't
a different
remember
issue.
it.
You could,
I just don't remember.
If you had all the materials in front of you and YouTube, you could do it.
you could figure it out. Maybe.
All right, so
So I'm gonna try and figure that out.
that's super cute.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the first one. This is the second one. The Stitch Witch. And I love Tiny Modernist, y'all. If you've seen this
She does a lot of
Flosstube
tiny
before,
models.
I love Tiny Modernist. And it's in the same style as the Yule Goddess.
Oh,
And so,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just great. I don't know what I'm going to put it on yet, and I'm probably going to wait until closer to Halloween to start it. And I'm definitely not doing the alphabet because it's unnecessary.
You don't think it'll
It's
look weird
cluttering
without
it
it?
up. I think it looks weird with it.
Oh,
I think,
okay.
I think
Well, you
it
can
needs to be
always
a little
not
bit
do
more
it and then
smart.
see what happens.
That's true. Well, I'm definitely not going to do it to start out with.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm super excited about that. And then last one is this Hello from Liz Matthews. Let's check it out. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
Oh.
Isn't that adorable? Just so adorable. And I already know I was looking at fabrics online, and I think I know I want to put it on like a really soft pink.
Oh.
So I think that'll be really sweet. And that's I got that, and then I just got some regular navy Aida.
Yeah. Did you buy the other the pink for that?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to. But I want. Okay, it's on my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart, but I don't want to just buy one piece of fabric. So I'm gonna wait until
You have a couple of
I have something else I want. So
cool. Okay, so I had talked to my plans video about how I had a pattern called I think it's called Blue Snowflake, or it might be Snowflakes in Blue by DeesTwentyStitches. No, that's Flosstube by KEB Studio Creations, who also has a Flosstube. But then it was done in weeks, and the DMC conversion had blends, and I didn't want to do blends because I'm doing another one of our patterns with the DMC blend conversion, and I like it. It's fun to pull the blends, but if I'm not going to be able to do a loop start, then I want the fancy floss. Like, I'd prefer that over a blend. So I went in yesterday at the Silver Needle. I pulled the Weeks Dye Works colors and took them over the Classic Colorworks, and so I did my own color conversion. So I got the fancy floss for that, which I think these will look really good together in that pattern. And this is gonna, this was gonna be, originally it was gonna be like a seasonal Saturday stitch, but then I ended up deciding to do these Prairie Schooler stockings. And so, but I still want to be working on this, so I'm gonna start it on the next snow day and have it be my snow day stitch.
Oh, nice.
Because it's snowflakes. So that was something that was on my list, like could only get at the Silver Needle, couldn't do before that. I also got 2 pieces of fabric. So this is going to be for DeesTwentyStitches Polar Bear Plunge.
Yeah.
This is
great.
Phoenix. I think it's my picture of this plus. But it's the called for is Christmas red, but the model is stitched with some cool fancy flosses that are sold out, that are like a Canadian fancy floss dyer, and they don't have them on their website anymore. So but I didn't want to convert it to other fancy flosses, because part of what I like about those specifically were the specific color, like there were some purples that popped up in the blues, and I'm like, I can't replicate that, I'll just use the DMC. So getting like a overdyed, like a fabric with a little more dimension in the red, I feel like is a good substitute for it. And at the Silver Needle, they'll cut it for you to size, which is nice. So this is just a little 9x9. It's technically a tiny bit small for the pattern, but I think it's going to be okay. And that is going to be a gift. So, and then you guys, if you saw the Mill Hill kit that I decided I don't want to stitch on perforated paper, I was having a hard time finding a fabric that had the right color background that would make it so I wouldn't need to stitch the background on the Victorian tree. Yeah. So this is the right color, and this was just a little fabric scrap. And she took off 50% of the price because she didn't have to cut the fabric. Oh. So this whole thing was $5. Nice. So I'll be able to do that Mill Hill kit tree on it and then have a little bit left over for something else. Nice. And this is just called Red. I think based on how, I think it's 32 count. I think it is a 32 count witch hilt, but I'm going to call it. It's very see-through. But it doesn't feel like that other witch hilt. Kind of does. It's scratchy, but not like that. I've touched the other piece so much.
As long as you know you can work with it.
And it's better than perforated paper, but it's the right color. Like the color was very important. So
it's very right. Yeah, that's perfect for vintage.
So those are the things that I had to get, and I thought, I'll spend about $100, and I spent $91. $91.25, and then they give you a quarter back because it's a Super Bowl sale, which was really cute. So I also picked up a couple Prairie Schooler Christmas patterns that have things I know will go good on my kids' stockings. So like this one especially, like these animals would all be good on the stockings when I get down below the Santas and need more things. So this is going to go straight into my Prairie Schooler Santa's bag. And then these are cool. These were on the 50% off table. So these were $3 to begin with, and then they were 50% off. These are greeting cards from Reflectiswa. So they have like the pattern on the front of the card. And then on the back, they have a tiny like little motif pattern of the pattern. So you get like this much of a Reflectiswa pattern. It's very cool and pretty. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun to stitch. And you get a greeting card to send to a stitchy friend. Yeah. And then they were half off, so they were $150 each. So I was like, I should have bought, really thinking back about it, I should have bought more. Because I bought one of each, but I'm like, I really should have just bought 10. Like, when am I going to find things like
good greeting cards?
Like, they're really pretty. Yeah. And like, I'm going to save them for stitchers who will appreciate them. Yeah. And then I get to keep the pattern. So it's like win-win-win. Or I could send the pattern.
Yeah, to your friend.
After I stitch it. We'll see. So that was our trip to the Silver Needle, and that was so much fun. And it was also fun too because like 90 minutes isn't that far, but you don't want to drive 90 minutes just to go shopping. And we do go up to Tulsa for other things, but we just hadn't in a while. And so it was fun like knowing it was coming. Yeah. And like making a list like what do I need to get at the Silver Needle that I can't get anywhere else. And then, so I have 2 other sets of haul. I got my Stitch Me January clubs. So, I am in the Silk of the Month club. And I had complained before about how, like, it felt like we were getting seasonal stuff, like, when the season was over. This time, it felt like we got Valentine's Day stuff right at the end of January. Now, it almost would have been better right at the end of December. But like, it's like almost like when it hits the shelves of the Target, it should be, that's when the club should ship, not later. But it's still like, oh, aren't these so pretty?
Yeah, those are really pretty.
I don't know. I don't have any Valentine's stitching plans this year, but I will next year because look at this beautiful 40 count.
Oh,
It's called Petunia, and it's just the most beautiful.
that is
pink.
pretty. Yeah.
So that will get used for something cool next year. And then the neutral was, which I got in 40 count, which is Dusty Cottage, which I already had in 28 count. I put my Prairie Schooler Santa on it. So I know I love this neutral, and so having another piece of it is just going to be
Nice.
Yeah. And then I also do the variegated threads, which I might stop because I love them. They're so pretty. But they don't get like substituted in as much as the solids, but I don't know. We'll see. This is Evil Queen and Colored Egg. And aren't those perfect Easter?
Mm-hmm.
So these will also be good Easter, good just general spring.
Yeah.
That pink, these pinks are so Valentine's Day to me.
Yeah.
I know. They're called Pretty in Pink, Primrose, Plum, Berry and Sea, and Sugar Plum.
Very pretty.
So I just love this stitch me. All right, my one last thing. So I'm not going to talk about these very long because in our next extra, which we already filmed, is all about buying on eBay. And I showed these as like examples of things I bought off eBay, but I got a new 12 by 5.5 inch hoop, and I didn't pay the crazy prices people are trying to get me to pay. I got this really cool dimensions. Vicky Cross Stitch on Instagram showed her finish of this, and I just became obsessed with it and just like needed it and like had to have it, and then researched it and bought it. And in that eBay thing, I talk about like how much it was in different places and stuff. So I'm gonna switch
that
out.
doesn't look fun.
I'm gonna switch out the fabric. I might just replace the GNC.
I'm not a fan of sorting
Wait.
those.
What if I get the PDF of this if they have it, and I just don't even open it? I just stitch it from the PDF, pull my own floss and fabric, and then sell.
You wouldn't do that.
I mean, when I was done with mine and I didn't need it anymore, you could sell the pattern, but you could also sell the kit.
Yeah.
And then I got another copy of Elizabeth in the Lavender Sky because mine, and I showed this in the last video too because it was just like a prop, but mine didn't have, it has places where you can't read it. So this, I want to get I want to scan this one too so that I have different errors in different places. And then I got Cottage Garden Fairy, which I really like Fairy Flora so much that when I saw this and I was like, yeah, I think they could be friends. And the person I bought it from was so nice. They sent a copy of I always forget this one's name, Sabrina, I think. Sent a copy of Sabrina that was like kind of marked up so they couldn't sell it separately, but it's not so marked up I couldn't stitch from it, so that was cool. So that was my haul.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yay. All right, I'm just gonna stick that here.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Okay.
So the only thing we have left are giveaways. Now, I didn't pull the giveaway winners from last time, so I'm just gonna pull and announce those next time. So if you haven't signed up for on our Flosstube number 11, if you wanted either of those patterns but you didn't comment yet, you still can comment. I'm gonna when we film again in 2 weeks, the night before that, I will close and pick winners. For our we said we're gonna do something kind of cool and big for our 1,000 subscribers, and we decided we're gonna do a $20 gift card. We're gonna do a $20 gift card to Etsy because we figured everybody anywhere in the world can find something, and with the amount of PDFs and things, you could even split it across multiple businesses.
And it's nice to support the small businesses. Like,
so we know Etsy has fees and there's problems with it, but at the end of the day, like, I know I'm gonna be opening a shop on Etsy. Like, it still is easier for like getting started than other things. And then once you're big enough where you can do it on your own platform, like, go for it. But figured for this giveaway, we would do $20 to Etsy. So if you want to be entered for this, do not use the word giveaway. You need to be subscribed to the video. It'd be cool if you liked it too.
Like the video, please. I love the little thumbs up.
And leave a comment. In your comment, use the word Etsy. I guess just use Etsy, E-T-S-Y. That'll be easy. And you can use it in a sentence. You can just leave your comment and then leave it separate. It doesn't matter. The comment picker will pull it based on it being in there. Yeah. And then so we want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. And if you made it to this point in the video, leave a comment with a little.
It's Super Bowl Sunday. Leave a little football.
Yeah, leave a football emoji, and you guys will be seeing this tomorrow. So
Wow.
it's
You'll know. We don't know.
So yeah, so you guys already know the winner.
Yeah.
You know if I'm crying or not. Well, it's me. I'm probably always crying. So leave a football in your comment, and other than that, thank you guys so much for joining. Bye, guys.
Bye.